So I'm back here with another lower body segment. Okay, we have 5 exercises or 5 stretches or pieces of mobility work that we're going to go through. Again, from the hips down is where we're going to target tonight. And I really try to target these exercises for someone that has a niggly lower back or some tightness or stiffness in that lower back to give them some sort of relief or ease from that. Again, look, we're going to have to stick good habits and actions in place to try and get that lower back perfect, but these are going to give them some sort of relief starting off anyway. Okay, so the 5 exercises, I'll go through them. I'll do them for the prescribed length of time as well, so you can follow along with me and we'll go from there. Okay, so the first exercise is for the hip flexors. If you're sitting all day long, you'll need to lengthen out these hip flexors. Okay, we're going with a couch stretch. So anything about knee height, okay, is what we're looking for. I'm going to use the bench, you can use a chair, you can use a couch, anything at home. Just make sure you put something soft on the ground underneath your knee. Okay, so what I want you to do is get your back foot up onto that bench. You're going to stick your shoelaces down on the bench and you're going to drop your knee down onto the cushion or the soft pad on the ground. From here, you're going to try and sit as close as you can to your heel. Okay, so as closer in the further you can get to the bench, the more of a stretch or more of a pull you're going to feel on the hip flexor. Okay, so you just go to whatever you can feel yourself or whatever you can handle. From there, the biggest mistake people make is they don't initiate or they don't do that pelvic tuck under first. Okay, so tuck the pelvis under the body first. That movement alone is going to create more of a stretch into that hip flexor. From there, a small little lean forward from the hips, not from the shoulders. Okay, just from the hips, you'll get an extra bit of a stretch into the hip flexor again, and you just hold there. Okay, so we should be already in this position on the right hand side of it, whichever side you want to start off with. Posture's up nice and tall. Okay, keep the back nice and flat, shoulders back. Breathing steady down into the belly. Okay, so in the last mobility video, we're not coming up into the chest, we're trying to get it right down into the diaphragm, okay, into the belly, expand that stomach. So we'll hold here for another 10 seconds. To make this stretch on small or harder, all you do is get the same hand that the foot is on the bench, so my right foot on the bench, right hand in the sky. Stretch it up towards the ceiling and lean across to the left. So you're leaning across to the leg that's up. From there you get an extra bit of a stretch even coming up the top of the waistband up into your abs. And relax. Go on, let's switch over to the far side, so left leg. This right one always feels looser straight away after that, so we'll go with the left leg, up onto the bench, shoelaces, and knee down to your soft pad or the cushion, whatever you have underneath. From here again, tuck the pelvis under, push the hips slightly forward, keep yourself in a good posture, upright, and hold. Again, big deep breaths into the stomach. Expand that stomach, not just out, but you're looking to expand it out sideways as well. Okay, so really fill up the sides, your obliques, fill it right up, expand the stomach right out. Let's stick your left hand in the sky. Reach nice and tall, keep your rib cage down, so you're not trying to let that flare up. Keep your rib cage down, reach your hand up to the sky, and lean over to the side that your leg is up on, which is my right leg. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good stuff. There's right and left, okay? Roughly 45 seconds to a minute is what you're looking for on your right and your left. So move the bench out of the way, we'll finish with that. What we're going to need next, okay, we're going to go into a pigeon stretch for the hips. Okay, so most of you have probably seen this done on the ground already, but I'm going to show you off of a height. And the reason why I like to use the height is because I can get a small bit more leverage over my body to try and get a bit more of a stretch into the top of that foot, or on top of that hip. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do here is get my right ankle and stick it to the left hand side of the box. Then I'm going to get my right knee and fold it over onto the top end of the box, and now I'm going to try and sit down into it. So that's why I'm saying leverage here. So you're right over that leg and you can really lean down into it or play around with that hip as much as you can. Okay, so you can stay tall and rotate left, you can rotate right, you can hold, lean over to the right, or you can lean straight down, whatever you want. That's why I like it up in the elevated height. Just try and get that knee or the chest down over the knee. Get a good stretch into the hip. From here you can also play around with your foot position. So if you feel like your knee is too far forward, you're not getting it into the hip capsule, you can change the foot angle, bring the foot up a small bit higher, bring your knee back down. Okay, so I bring my knee back down now, and I'm going to lean over a small bit more. So I'm getting a deeper stretch into that glute, in around the hip. Hold there again. 10 more seconds here. Play around it again if you need. Okay, so this might be an uncomfortable position starting off for you. Okay, but you will get used to it. 3, 2, 1, relax. Come back over it. Let's go with your left foot. That hip already feels a hell of a lot looser, and with the hip flexor stretch as well, it feels a hell of a lot better. Okay, so we're going to go left leg, left ankle onto the right hand side of your box. Left knee up to the top of the box. Hold there. Get yourself set up. Get your balance with your back leg. You can put your 2 hands in the box. As I said, play around with it a small bit. Try and drive that knee out. You can lean across, whatever you want. Just play around with it again. Find where you feel best for yourself. Okay? So right there, I get a great stretch into the hip calf. So I'll hold for a few seconds and I'll breathe steady through it. Ten more seconds here. Going to change up my position a small bit. So try and lean across. There we go. Really play around with that right there. Now I'm feeling a bit of tightness. So play around with it. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Pop out of that stretch. Good. So right and left, as I said, you really play around in that position more so than if you're on the ground. That's why I love on the elevated height. Okay, so our next one, hamstring stretch. Fairly basic enough. I just have a resistance band here. You can use a towel at home if you don't have one of these. Lie on your back. Just loop it around the sole of your foot. Lie back. Keep your right leg straight. Pull that band down. I like to throw it over around the back of my head. Hold the foot up against it. Just until you feel that stretch or that gentle pull into the hamstring from the back of the knee down to the base of the glute. You don't want your leg to be shaking all over the place. Okay, you're going a bit too far if that's the case. Just hold it at the far side of that shake. So everything nice and steady. What you can do here as well now is a bit of P&F stretching. So you can push your foot against the band for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, bring it a small bit further. Hold to its new point. Hold there. Push your foot against. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, and then come back a small bit further. One more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back a small bit further. So we should be at a 90-degree angle now if we can, keeping this leg flat on the ground. You don't want to let it bend up here, then it'll be too easy to get that leg to the 90 degrees. Keep it nice and straight and flat on the ground. And relax. Let's go on to the far side. So other foot, same story. Just get to your first point of tightness, which is about there on me. Keep my left leg flat on the ground, right leg in the sky. Again, you can play around with your toes, pull your toes down towards your body, so point them down towards your body yourself. Now let's start driving that foot into the band, so try to drive the foot down towards the ground. So go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, exhale, and let the foot come back towards you. Hold there again for 3, 2, 1, push the foot against the band, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, exhale, bring the foot back a small bit further towards yourself. Push the foot away. 3, 2, 1, inhale, exhale, bring the foot back down. So there we are on the third one. We should be at 90 degrees if we can. That'll be kind of like a minimum requirement if you can get there. Again, everyone's going to be different. And relax. Good. So there's right and left hamstrings. Always feel great after getting a good stretch into the hamstrings. Left and right. Use a towel, use a band, whatever you have at home. That will work perfect. Okay, so the next one is going to be supine. So lying on our back, hip rolls. Okay, so this is not going to be just a static stretch. You're going to be moving dynamically through it. Okay, so on your back, so I'll face dead straight to the camera. On your back, feet in the sky, hands out for support. You're going to roll the hips, but try and keep your hands and shoulders on the ground. touch the left, back up, touch the right. Again, for lower back, it's great to try and loosen it out. But if this is too painful, back off it, ease off it, or leave it all together. Okay, but it should get a nice little range of motion, nice little movement into the back. Okay, so trying to keep those shoulders on the ground. You're not rolling with your hands like that. You're trying to keep nice and flat. You're trying to dissociate your lower half from your upper half and really let them hips roll left and right, nice and steady. So another 10 seconds. So as long as you get a nice smooth tempo going, that's all you're looking for. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to fly through it. Just a nice smooth tempo to get a good few reps done in the 45 seconds to 1 minute mark. And relax. Good, so the last stretch I'm going to show you is a pretzel stretch, or a bretzel stretch it's called, sorry. You're going to lie on your side. Okay, so I'll show you from this angle. It's complicated enough. Lie on my left shoulder. You're going to get your right knee on the ground like that at a 90-degree angle. Now I'm going to pin down that knee with my bottom hand, which is my left hand. So keep that knee pinned down here. And then with my top hand and my bottom leg, I'm going to stretch my quads. Okay, so bring that foot up, grab the ankle down towards the ground and keep it in one straight line. So you're not pulling it up into the sky here. You're pulling and stretching your quads in a straight line. From here, I'm going to try and get this top shoulder, which is here, as close as we can down to the ground, while also maintaining contact with this knee on the ground here. So there's a good bit going on, okay? So we're getting a good little stretch on our lower back, on our quads on the bottom leg, and also feeling a stretch up into my T-spine, the middle of my back and my upper back, as I'm trying to twerk this top shoulder down towards the ground. And from here then just breathing nice and steady through it. It's a great stretch. Again, when you inhale, exhale, try and get the top shoulder a small bit closer to the ground each time. Ten more seconds here. Try and get a small bit closer again. 3, 2, 1, and other side. So I'll talk you through it on the far side now again. So we're going to lie on my right hand, my right shoulder. My left knee is going to be down to the ground at a 90-degree angle. This leg stays straight for now. Pin my left knee down to the ground with my right hand, which is my bottom hand, up and stretch this bottom leg into a quad stretch, and then just try and rotate my top shoulder, which is my left shoulder, down towards the ground. And hold. So there's my point. That's as far as I can go so far. As I inhale and exhale, I'll probably will get a small bit further with it. But as it stands there, I'm getting a great stretch into that lower back again. Into this hip and glute as well at the top. So there's a lot going on here in this stretch, as I said, on the other side. Just breathe steady through it now. Ten more seconds. Like in any of these stretches, you can hold them a small bit longer if you want, 10 to 15 seconds longer each, or you can do 2 rounds of it. I'm just going to demonstrate 1 round. And relax. So let go of that foot nice and steady, rotate back around and pop up from there. Good, so that's them 5 stretches done, okay, from the hips down, really trying to get a good little emphasis on the lower back as well, to try and relieve any pain or any stiffness in that lower back. And especially if you're prone to sitting down a lot, for now if you're working from at home, you're sitting at the desk or you're sitting in the car a good bit, hip flexors get very tight, which pulls a small bit on that lower back. So once you get that couch stretch into it, they should relieve a small bit of that pressure, as I said, but it has to be done regularly. Okay, try and keep it up, along with a good exercise program or exercise routine as well, and these stretches, that's what you'll be looking for, okay, to try and keep some ease off that lower back. But for now, that was 1 round, roughly 45 to a minute, holding on each. Really focusing on your breathing into your belly, not up into your chest or into your rib cage. Try and bring it down, relax the shoulders, bring it down into the belly and try and expand that belly out. And yeah, give them a shot and see what you think and let me know.